Welcome back, my dear friends. Welcome. I have today a topic that probably will take several videos to really discuss, to really share what I have on my heart. But this video is actually inspired by the experiences and stories of women that share their life with me, sometimes via personal communication, sometimes via emails, messages, and comments. And this particular comment really made me think and really made me want to share with you this perspective on this very sensitive subject. Um, I don't know if that's just my observation, but often it feels to me that in America, the bigger the lie is, the bigger the misconception is, the more it's going to be blown up, and the more energy will go to prove that this is the right way, this is the right way to live, this is the best concept, and if you're not on this concept, then there is something wrong with you, you're weak. And that applies to this myth of a strong and independent woman. And I just want to share with you how extremely painful, poisonous, and hurtful this myths have been, and how much it truly costs to women. Um, the medical industry have been profiting heavily from this myth. But let's start from the beginning. So, I received a letter from a woman, and she was just absolutely um, genuine and very very open with her life story, and she shared that my videos had inspired her some years ago to start on a certain journey. And the journey is she prioritized the best years of her life, chasing the wrong things. She prioritized the young years of her life to prove things to people, to show men that she doesn't need them in her life in any way, maybe just for spending time. And basically, she told me that her whole entire life she wanted to prove the world that she is in fact this strong, independent woman that everybody talks about, that she was truly a victim of this horrible myth that's costing women many years of their lives, that costing them fertility, that costing them health, connection, that brings them into depression and isolation later. And so she shared that because of all those years of very wrong ways to live, that the way she sees now, it took her I don't even know if I can share this, but she had allowed me to share. Welcome everyone. So basically it took her a decade and a half to finally become a mother and conceive a child. And she asked me to share on my video her story, to share the true cost of women chasing goals the way that masculine men were meant to be, were meant to. the more I live, the more I mature, the more I look at things, I realize that um, there are certain things that don't need to be reinvented. There is certain things that we don't have to prove, and we don't have to try to um, we don't have to try to reinvent the wheel over and over again and try to sell it as a bigger thing, as a breakthrough, because we only have that much time left in the end. When we are done with chasing, when we are done with proving, we have only that much time left. And number one sacrifice that women make when they believe that they should lead with being a strong and independent woman is that they don't prioritize the most important thing in life that they were meant to bring into this world. They get carried away with the ideas and things of competing and proving themselves, but many years get lost in the process. And then when you realize that no matter what you do, no matter of your achievements, you had burned your health, you had you are burnt out, your health is in decline, you are losing your emotional and physical abilities. Your emotional and physical health are not as it was before, but you're still not satisfied. No matter what regalia you have, what medals you have, but you still feel dissatisfied. And there are certain things that cannot be turned back, and time is one of them. In America, we have this medical system that thrive and profit from women to have IVF, from women freezing eggs, basically from fertility technology. I don't know the exact number, but I know that American medical system very seriously profits from women having wrong priorities in life, from women forgetting their divine sacred mission in the world. They profit greatly from all of the above, and the women suffer. Women were not meant to work like men. N- say, n- Women, I'm just gonna say this like it is. Women were never meant to show off the strengths, to compete with men. And we were never meant to have a label strong and independent. That's, to me, honestly sounds so desperate. Most women that I've met that had to go through difficult circumstance, or maybe that were very driven in life. Some women are more driven than others. They have a bit more, I don't know, drive, testosterone, maybe the environment. They've never, at least in Slavic culture, they never want to be known as a strong and independent. They were always open to have fulfillment in their life that comes from love, from family, from having children. And many of them were just open and waiting for the right partner to come, because that is obviously very, very important in this case. But I noticed that mostly in Western cultures, in American culture in particular, if you do not subscribe to you are the strongest, you know it best, and you want to do everything yourself, you don't need anybody for nothing. If you do not subscribe to that, if you do not strive to have career, if you do not strive to have career, if you feel that there is something wrong with you, that maybe you are weak, maybe you are not smart, you're something wrong with your mind or your education level, the whole society is built in such a way that if you do not subscribe to the um, mainstream way of doing things, there is something wrong with you. When the most divine, the most incredible thing is in a woman's life is to create amazing unit and give a life, gift a life, continue herself, continue bring that only gift, the most important gift into the world that she can ever make. And it's just so very sad. The doctors, instead of offering the IVFs and freezing eggs, would, to my opinion, the doctors, the female doctors, what should really be doing is talking to young women in their late teens and early 20s and just telling them of the importance of the woman's health, of the importance of the fact that we cannot work like men. We literally crumble under stress. Most of us, I don't cannot give you the exact percentage, but most of us are crumble under stress. We lose our health, we lose our femininity, we're losing our waistline with cortisol, with stress. It's everything. It's mental, it's physical, it's dissatisfaction, it's the pills, depression, it's the reckless choosing of the partners. And then in the end, it brings you find yourself in your late 30s or 40s, and you realize that you were working so hard on your life, in your life, and you literally have nothing. You have absolutely nothing that truly satisfy you. So many women, I notice, they are in denial. They decided, for example, that children are not for them. But I understand it's a personal decision. If you know you cannot take care of a child, by no means, by any means, follow your own path and do what you have to. But I've noticed a very interesting correlation between women that are very much struggling with depression. It's usually happens at a certain moment in time when you realize that you tried everything, you went on all these journeys, but you are still not satisfied. And sometimes you haven't met a partner, sometimes you took decision to not become a mom. But when I think nature and God are smarter than us. And when a woman is blessed with a child, that very strong sense of purpose, of nurturing, of caring, of creating, you generally have no time to have the idle mind and unfulfilled life that leads to the depression. I've noticed that, of course, there are exceptions. I don't talk about 1 out of 10. I usually prefer to have this conversation to be about 80-90%. Of course, there are always exceptions, right? But anyway, and I really wish that the doctors, including the mental health professionals, including the doctors, OBGYN, I really wish that instead of telling women about the dangers of STIs and STDs and the danger of contraception pills and all of that, I really wish they would just tell the truth and just talk to women like women are human, and tell them how to take care of themselves, how to rest properly, how to, when you have your special woman days, how to take that in a correct way and not burn yourself during those days, how to not to have to worry about unwanted pregnancies or being exposed to things like STD and STI and whatever else. Said a lot of this comes way before the physical, the biological circumstance. It's a woman mindset. But most doctors, most establishments, and even most mental health professionals will never tell a woman that, will never tell the truth, that the value, the impact that the woman has, the true powers that the woman have. And I find this so devastating. You are told that you are need these things, you are need the bags, you know, you need expensive bags and you need all those things. And you know, you guys know me, if you follow me for a while, you know that I love beautiful things, I love aesthetics, but there are levels to things. And I really see this from the perspective how the certain businesses and certain governments take the most important things out of the equation. You know, telling you, oh, you know, if you don't have the Birkin bag, your life is, you know, your life did not turn out well. You know, disregarding, well, the fact that, well, those bags are literally an accessory. Now we know that is also made in China, so maybe not as valuable as they trying to sell it to be, right? um because it's still an object, it's still an item. And you hear this from somebody who absolutely loved the fashion. But you know, it's interesting, on the fashion mode, I've always felt the manipulation of the brands. I have never been a person that is impressed by certain brands, because yes, I love the art, I love the beauty, which is, by the way, part of femininity, and to have appreciation for the art and beauty. But usually women who work hard, who are strong and independent, they don't have time to think about it. They don't have time to stop and smell the roses, or you know, take multiple vacations, or just take a day off and rest. So sometimes these kind of women also feels that they need to prove something to society, and so they need that bag. This bag for, I don't know, 30 or 40 grand will fulfill them, as if this stuff will fulfill them in the end. They can show the world that they achieved something, only to discover that, well, unless desirable objects are given to you. I mean, women, we love accessorize, we love the beautiful things, but there is an ugly side to everything. And when women get obsessed with brands, this is an search for outwardly validation once again. And it's pretty, in a way, it also goes against the nature, because women were meant to create. Women were meant to use their own imagination to create the concept, the beauty, and the things that surround them. When you are running, I call it like a wild horse, it's hard to be a kitten. It's hard to see the value in beautiful, in simple, beautiful things that surround you. It's you can find time for simple pleasures life have to offer, but also you cannot discern true art, true way of expression and creativity with things that are strictly commercial and are there for sale, because that's all that they have to offer. When you sacrifice your life running like a squirrel in the wheel, like a squirrel, um, you don't have real time to discern, and you become a subject and a victim to all of this marketing techniques. And I just find it so very sad, and I was just so very touched by this lady. It took her because of all the health issues and problems that were caused by maybe pre-existing conditions, but also with stress. She wrote me, it took you 15 years to conceive a kid, to become a mother, to conceive a child. 15 years of all kinds of things. Of course, we are different, and there are a lot of healthy women that can be blessed with their divine mission and can have children late as well. But it still comes with conditions. Late motherhood comes with conditions, such as if your health can make it through, your time does not expand. No matter how young you look, no matter how much energy you have, but your time span usually does not expand. Yes, sometimes you are blessed and you have amazing genetics, and also your priorities are changed. So when you have your child maybe in your late 30s or 40s, you hopefully you taking great care of your health, and maybe you will be with your child, raising your child for many decades. But we all still have a certain lifespan that is expected, and some are lucky than others. But I just want to honor that beautiful letter that I've got, and I really did not expect that, as I don't receive that many letters from ladies. I mean, I do, but not as much as from the men that I have been working with through the years, for the Ukrainian dating, for Slavic women's secrets, so to speak. And also, I found my old email, the previous email, and I found so many unanswered beautiful letters. So maybe going through them. But even if one person, even if one woman who is looking at her life and getting under the influence of feminism, that, oh, you don't need to have family, children are a burden, and it's all not worth it, that you give that young woman will give herself a chance to just consider. And sometimes you need to hear your own voice in silence, without people suggesting things. But I just think it's so very unfair that I find it, I would just say this again, that I find it so extremely unfair, the way that women do not have mentors, do not have protection, do not have guidance, and follow victims of this insane agenda. And well, there could be more, there are so many more aspects of the cost of the total miss and total failed ideology of being a strong woman. Maybe I'll share some more in other videos, but this one, it really comes from my heart, from the many women's pain. And if you're a man and you are with a woman, you're not sure what you want, you are not ready for relationship, you don't know if you want to have children, you are not, so you are doubting, it's not good time, you are not in a place in life where you're supposed to be, leave that woman alone before she runs out of your valuable time. Don't be the person because of who she will lose the time she needs to build her dream life. If you're not sure, if you don't know, let her create the life that she desire. Don't string her along, don't make a placeholder out of a woman. If you have nothing to offer, is if family is not something that you care, you consider, why would you put that sin on your resume, so to speak? Why would you do this to the beautiful woman if you're not ready? I honestly think it's such a extreme beta way of being, telling a woman that you are already with, you're spending time with, you convince to be with you, to get to know you, to be intimate with you, and then you're like, yeah, I'm not so sure, I'm not ready, I'm in such a difficult place right now. Don't do that. It takes it takes certain it takes a pair to be honest with yourself. If you know that you have nothing to offer to a woman, if you hoping that she's strong and independent, so you have there is nothing that you will be contributing, don't no woman want to be strong and independent, I'm telling you. And no woman really is. No woman really is strong and independent. None. Not the one who have the millions in her bank, not the ones that barely make it through the day. No woman in the world that doesn't need protection, that doesn't need somebody looking over her, somebody that she can put her head on his shoulders. There is no woman like that. Just trust me on this one. We were meant to be made for each other. We were meant to complement our lives. We were meant to create and continue together and supporting each other on this journey, just in a different ways. And for men who are watching my channel, don't take years of a woman's life. It's a very heavy thing spiritually to carry. When you know that she could have been happy with someone else, she could have been a happy wife, a happy mother, she could be playing with her daughter or son right now, but instead of that, you string her along for years, you told her promises that you never intend to keep, and that's a hard realization. I have other confessions from people that I'm working with, and a lot of older men that I was working with through the years had told me how much they regret for stringing along certain women. And in the end, they were the ones who were alone and left. And I worked with men who were in their, from the older group would be from early 60s all the way to 70 plus years old. It's very painful to see someone reaching certain age knowing that there is no hope, and knowing that there is nothing left, nobody to pass your knowledge, nobody to inherit things you have, nobody to pass your experience, and most of all, also realizing that you actually had a chance and you had not used it. You just have not even been honest with your own self, and you managed to rob another person out of something so valuable, so important, and only with gray hair you truly realize that. I cannot even tell you. It was a little bit shocking to me to learn that. I thought that maybe men don't care about these things, but all of this goes against the nature with our culture of indulgence, of self-absorption, and so on. And it's getting worse. Every single year it's getting worse. So the true cost of being a strong and independent woman is really hard to estimate, but that is definitely one and major one, is that you miss out on a precious time when you were made to create another life, when you were made to experience the true and only unconditional love in this world, and create something that lasts and fulfills and satisfies. My dear friends, that's all that I would like to share today on this beautiful rainy night before I have to go. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please share your thoughts in the comments below once the live is over, because these comments are not consistent, but the comments below I will be able to see. If you came late, you're welcome to watch from the beginning. Thank you so very much for stopping by. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. I know you join later. Maybe you will have a chance to watch it over. Elizabeth, thank you so much for stopping by. And everybody else who is new on the live, welcome. I have to go now, but feel free to share your thoughts and comments below. Thank you. I will see you very soon.